Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12 at 6 o'clock.
And good evening. First on 12 with a lot on the line. 6 of our local South Carolina football teams are competing for state quarterfinals tonight. It is week 14 under the lights. Here's News 12 Sports Director Dan Booth to introduce our game of the week. Dan.
Thank you, Richard. In the playoffs, it's not always about who's the best team on paper. It's about who's playing their best football at the right time. The pursuit of perfection is still ongoing for the undefeated 12-0 Midland Valley Mustangs, who are hosting their third playoff game in a row. News 12's Alyssa Lyons joins us live from the Valley, who have the opportunity now, the Mustangs, to secure home field advantage in the Class 4A Upper State Championship game with a win tonight.
Dan, we're in a way back where we were last year, where the season ended for Midland Valley in the first round of the playoffs. They hopped on a bus bound for West Side. On their way home, they found their bags packed for good, losing by 10. Tonight, they hope to extend that same courtesy back to West Side. Now, talking to head coach Earl Chapman, they're using their home field advantage in this one, giving the Mustangs a boost in confidence every down. But fans aside, the Mustangs had more to talk about than just the playbook this week, finding a way to keep this undefeated team's emotions from getting in the way of their success.
We have to control our emotions, right? And we have to channel our emotion in the right way. Football is an emotional game, especially when you're playing in big rivalry games and things like that. There's a lot of emotion involved. So you got to control it and channel it into the things that are going to help you be successful.
We know football is an emotional sport. We know the postseason is an emotional time. For a lot of these seniors, it's the last time that they'll suit up underneath the Friday night lights. Midland Valley hopes to keep their dreams alive at 7:30.
Alyssa, thank you, and stick around because our Under the Lights coverage will be continuing in just a few minutes, and when we head over to the Brickyard to check in with the defending state champion, Thompson Bulldogs.
All right, team, thanks for the updates there. As far as the weather goes, right
Sunday, while we'll fully look at that forecast in just about 10 minutes.
Riley, thanks. Breaking news out of Augusta with new information about the death of a young child that happened Wednesday at Fort Eisenhower. The U.S. Attorney's Office says April Short has now been charged with murder with an aggravating circumstance of the alleged crime occurring during an act of child abuse. The criminal complaint alleges Wednesday morning Short used a knife to cut the neck of her 11-month-old child, who was later pronounced dead at the Eisenhower Army Medical Center. She is in custody with the Marshal's Office, has not entered a plea after her first court appearance. She's being held now at the Jefferson County Detention Center with the case still under investigation and the Army Criminal Investigation Division with assistance from the FBI. But a tragedy at Fort Eisenhower this week. Also new in the last half hour, SLED charging a former Barnwell City employee with 3 counts of assault and battery in the first degree. Warrant says 33-year-old Matthew Washington was arrested today. One document claiming back in 2022 he inappropriately touched a female juvenile. She later identified him as her volleyball coach. Two more warrant list the same actions, but dates of July to October of this year. Washington was booked to the Barnwell Detention Center. It's been 7 months now since the new ambulance service has been responding to emergencies across Augusta, and it's not just your life on the line, also your tax dollars at work. Central EMS landed that spot with the support of the city, quickly responding to calls the first 2 weeks on the job. But as Craig Allison shows us, several months in, the road to smoother ambulance care could be hitting some bumps.
A pushed-up start day by a few weeks right before Masters Week, a cyber attack, and operating out of this old fire station here on Reynolds Street. That's the start that Central EMS had just more than 6 months ago when they started working here in Augusta-Richmond County. But how well have they done so far? Well, an open records request returned 165 pages of information on complaints regarding the ambulance provider.
911, do you need police, fire, or an ambulance? Ambulance. Have you already called? No. Okay. 1 moment, okay. Okay. So we have a high call volume. Okay.
This is just one of 6 complaints on response times we got back, mixed in with a few internal investigations into Central's operations. One email from August says the time it takes for ambulances to respond can't be recorded. The reason, a fallout still from Augusta's cyber attack in May. Another email from Augusta's E911 Center director saying slowdowns have popped up, running like Gold Cross, referring to the former ambulance service, which faced criticism for not responding to emergencies quickly enough.
Tripping, bro. I should have just drove my car. Right, so we have a high call volume right now, but we're gonna get that out there as soon as possible. Call us back if anything changes, okay? Okay.
We reached out to Central EMS for a comment or interview, but they deferred their 6-month performance review to the Augusta Fire Department, who still has yet to respond to that request. But with only half a year knocked out of year one of a 5-year contract, we'll continue to monitor the EMS provider on this developing story. In Augusta, Craig Allison, on your side.
Certainly a critical job they have to do. One national organization is working to retain, recruit, and advance women in cybersecurity. Here at home, students at Augusta University are taking advantage of that. Taylor Martin has more on how they hope to make an impact on campus.
Women only make up about 25% of the cybersecurity workforce, a statistic AU student Jovi Douglas learned and is working to change.
We knew that it would be pivotal for us to have representation of women within the cyber field.
It's why she started a chapter of Women in Cybersecurity to help other women learn cybersecurity skills and bridge learning gaps within the industry.
I've seen a lot of women struggle to join the field or to just continue being there.
Providing mentors for first-year students like Hannah Kim.
They really do give me insight on how I can choose to go in my life.
As she learns from her peers, she hopes to use that knowledge as a mentor for others.
I hope that members can realize that by joining Women in Cybersecurity, they gain an entire community of support for their continuing education and passion in cybersecurity.
They're not only hoping to inspire women, but the entire community.
The more people know what is it and how it's impacting the community, they will be less targeted for fraud.
Helping educate and prevent future attacks. Reporting in Augusta, Taylor Martin on your side.
It is a great career path. They're still working to get more members and sponsorships. When they do, they'll hit the ground running with a cybersecurity curriculum starting next semester. One Greenbrier High School junior getting ready for the performance and the walk of a lifetime in New York City. We'll show you how he's prepping coming up next. Ryan?
And we're going to time out some of the nicest weather of the week just in time for the weekend, but we are tracking our next rainmaker into next week. Full forecast just after the break. Thanksgiving on Thursday, mostly sunny and highs cooler than average, near 60.
Riley, thanks. You know, watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is a bucket list item for some people, but to actually walk in it, that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Jordan Evans, a junior at Greenbrier High School, and Rutledge Boykin, an assistant band director at Greenbrier, are both getting that chance. Cindy Hood shows us how they're getting ready.
We hear perfect practice makes perfect performance. Jordan Evans is practicing for the performance of a lifetime.
Came home with a paper and said, I want to do this. Okay, let's do it.
We'll soon hear his tuba in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
And now I get to see it, but not only see it, but my kid's in it.
Not to toot his own horn,
But he has proven time and time again with his tuba that he is the best.
hear for yourself.
Practices on his own. We do not need to harp on him or push him a little to practice. He is always practicing.
At home and at school.
Wow. 53 million people are going to see me on TV marching with something as famous as Macy's Day Parade.
A pretty big stage to play on.
This is like one event that just allows me to be like, wow, this is where my future is heading.
And with him is one instrumental figure.
And then it was just like a big epic high five moment of like, you're going, I'm going, so we'll have Thanksgiving together in the streets of New York City.
His assistant band director is also playing in the parade.
I know our day starts at 1:30 in the morning. Once I go to bed 1:30 that afternoon, I think that's going to be probably the fastest 12 hours I've ever lived in my life. It's one of those moments to where you hold your phone and you just drop it.
And when words fail, music speaks. In Evans, Sydney Hood, on your side.
Very impressive, and 3 cheers for the baseline as they head to New York City. Jordan Evans will play with the All-American High School Marching Band, so look for that. His assistant band director, Rutledge Boykin, he'll play with the Band Directors Marching Band, and you can watch them and the entire parade both on CBS and NBC 26 on Thanksgiving morning. Our Under the Lights coverage continues by heading over to Thompson ahead of the Bulldogs game against Toombs County. We are live from the Brickyard after this short break.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
I'm Mike Costello.
On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
There is no substitute for experience, and if there's one thing that the Thompson Bulldogs learned from last year's state championship run, it's knowing how to prepare for big games. News 12's Will Volk is out at the Brickyard as we speak, helping us get ready for what should be another exciting playoff night in Thompson.
Well, this really isn't your typical second-round playoff game. Toombs County finished in a three-way tie for first in their region. They ended up getting a number 2 playoff seed. So now we've got top 5 showdown in the Brickyard between two 10-1 teams.
The bottom line is we're in a very historic town that football has rich tradition, and it's good to be a part of it.
When you're a part of a game like this, you know the atmosphere is going to be good.
Right now in the state of Georgia, we have one of the most electric atmospheres pregame that is around.
Coach Michael Youngblood says the Brickyard should be rocking with a live DJ, a light show, and 2 really good football teams.
Knowing that we're the defending champs, and you can't let nobody come here house and beat us.
10-1 Toombs County will try to do that in a top 5 showdown.
They're a formidable opponent, but our thing is we just got to take care of the Thompson Bulldogs, and that's all that matters.
Many of these guys know what it's like playing in a big game after being a part of Thompson's championship run last year.
Being in those big games and those big moments, these guys have had the opportunity to play in it, and it's nothing like experience.
We got a big game, yes, but we've been in moments like this before, so it ain't nothing we ain't never seen. We got a good fan, good coach, good players, so we can go out there and get W.
And some of the players I talked to say it's got to come down to not turning the ball over and making big plays. There should be a fun one tonight. I'll be here shooting highlights. We'll have them for you at 11.
Thank you, Will. I guess they got 5 on it, and it's time to, this time of the year, there are no easy games, and if Thompson wants to go back to Atlanta for a shot to go back-to-back, they'll have to protect their crown tonight. When you include the defending state champs, we have a total of 17 teams from the CSRA still alive in the hunt for a state title. I'll be breaking down all the playoff action tonight at 11 o'clock on Under the Lights.
Already looking forward to it, Dan. Thanks so much. You know, tomorrow morning is the 5th annual CSRA Walk for Water event at SRP Park. The event is meant to help raise awareness for the inaccessibility of water across the world. Volunteers will walk a mile with a bucket full of water, giving people a chance to really walk a mile in someone else's shoes and feel what they go through. You can check out the website for more information about how to register for that event. Did you know Augusta once had a NASCAR racetrack? Today is the 60th anniversary of the only 510 race in town. Will Volk looks back on the race and why it didn't come back for a second edition.
It's hidden in plain sight.
It's here. It's not gone.
When Harvey Tollison visits Diamond Lakes Regional Park, he doesn't see just a park. He sees what used to be.
I remember a track that had great possibilities that never made it.
He remembers working at the old Augusta International Raceway, home of the Augusta 510.
Most of the races in NASCAR big races were 500 miles. So we'll do 510 and be longer than anybody else.
It was supposed to be a big new race in the summertime, but the track had money problems and construction delays. And because of that, the race got pushed back to mid-November.
The race kept getting put off and put off and put off. And by the time it got to November, of course, weather wasn't good.
Only 15,000 fans attended, much lower attendance than expected. And because of the early sunset, they didn't have enough daylight to run all 510 miles. Fireball Roberts won the shortened race.
He was extremely popular.
Roberts designed the track and was one of its founding partners. 6 months after his win at Augusta, he died in a crash.
If Fireball hadn't got killed, it might have come back. But he got killed, so it never came back.
6 of the top 7 finishers died within 14 months of the race. After Roberts' death, the track never recovered, and a second Augusta 510 never happened.
it could have been second to the Masters if things had worked out.
But for many reasons, they didn't. And now, as you see nature slowly reclaiming this 60-year-old asphalt, you can't help but wonder, what if? In Augusta, Will Volk on your side.
A lot of old asphalt with a story to tell there. Will, thank you. You can see that monument to the track near the Diamond Lakes Library. If you're over that way, check it out. Grovetown's Police Department holding a Cruising for Christmas car show tomorrow. It's from 9 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon at Liberty Park Community Center. They've got free food out there, prizes, classic cars on hand. Tickets are $25 to enter your car, and that goes towards providing Christmas for a child in need. Riley.
Great cause out there tomorrow, and the weather looks great for it. Maybe you're hitting the links tomorrow if you have an early tee time. Luckily, no frost delay. Tim's staying pretty mild tonight. Now look at that forecast for you just after the break.
Thanks for watching News 12 on your side.
It's the Hyundai Get
On this Friday night, we have your holiday travel forecast, and it could be a record-setting year. Find out what's in store if you're one of the millions who are planning to fly or drive this Thanksgiving. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Remember, if you are heading out tonight, we're not expecting much in the way of measurable rainfall, but just cannot rule out a stray shower out there. As a cold front does move in from the west and north, you can see on our radar network not really picking up on much outside of just some ground clutter near those radar sites. Saturday and Sunday are going to be beautiful. We're going to bring back sunshine tomorrow. Still pretty warm temperatures out there tomorrow afternoon, hitting at least the mid-70s. By Sunday, we do get a little bit cooler in the morning with morning temps in the 40s, but afternoon highs Sunday very seasonal, most likely upper 60s for us, and staying nice and dry through the weekend. Once we get into next week, remember next week, believe it or not, is Thanksgiving weekend. By the time we get to Thanksgiving, really nice weather is going to be in store, mostly sunny with temperatures just a little bit cooler than average. Before we get there, though, we are going to have to battle our next rainmaker. That'll push through Monday night, last throughout Tuesday, then we should be good to go by Wednesday afternoon.
Sounds good, Riley. Our next live update comes at 7 o'clock over on NBC 26. If we don't see you there, we'll meet right back here at 11. Have a great night, and we'll see you at 11.
At the CBS Evening News, we focus on solutions, finding solutions to help people understand what are the right choices to make for you and your family.
At Lionel's a few days. Here's a full look at that 7-day forecast. We are expecting that rain to show up Monday night through Tuesday. Luckily, it does look dry, though, for Thanksgiving next week.
Riley, thanks a lot. New at 11, McCormick County deputies need your help tonight finding a missing man. They say Steve King was last seen this afternoon on Highway 81. He was last seen wearing blue pajama pants, a camouflage jacket, a hat, and brown dress shoes. Authorities say he has dementia, so if you see him, call deputies right away. A Barnwell City employee behind bars tonight facing assault and battery charges. SLED says Matthew Washington inappropriately touched a juvenile while she was at volleyball practice at his house. Washington is booked in the Barnwell County Detention Center. Food Truck Family Friday is back for the first time since Augusta commissioners debated a plan to issue decals for those food trucks. Those plans are still being finalized as the commission wants to look at that ordinance a little bit more. Audrey Dickerber spoke with some food truck operators at tonight's event. So, Audrey, what are they saying about the plan?
Well, the whole idea is to help officials and customers know which food trucks have passed the proper inspections, and people I spoke with are happy about it.
I love what I do. Cooking is my passion. Cooking is my dream. You know, so food, so many people, we eat out every day. And it's important that people know what they are eating and knowing that they're getting safe food. Because anybody can pull up with anything and food cannot be to par or anything to that matter.
Brandy Neal says there are good reasons for it.
You don't want cross-contamination. You don't want people getting sick. So, therefore, if you have the decal saying that, hey, we are certified, everything is good, that's a great thing because you don't want people getting sick off of food, you know? So, that's very important. That is so important.
And customers say it's important to pay attention to where you're getting your food. The decal could help fix that.
It would definitely make me want to eat there more because I know they've been approved.
Eliminating possible confusion in the process.
Anybody's auntie's grandma, cousin can come out here and sell some plates and not know what they doing and mess around and give somebody salmonella.
And the decal would tell people who's approved and who isn't.
I come out here every month because I like to support people in my community. Like my friends' parents have their own food truck. They're like licensed and whatnot. I like to come out here and support them. But not everybody, parents know what they're doing. So being that y'all are taking that extra step, like the precaution, it makes me feel like a lot better.
And that's a win-win. To get a decal, trucks will have to have a business license and pass a fire and health department inspections. From there, they'll pay $5 before they can put it on their truck.
That's the plan. But these decals right now, they're not required, are they?
Not right now, but they're still working through those details. We'll be sure to keep an eye on the process.
Please do. Audrey Dickerber in our newsroom for us tonight. Augusta Tech, it is a hidden jewel serving 5 counties, hidden in part because you might not know about the free courses they offer. Angela Mosley is the Dean of Adult Education there, and we spoke about the program and all it has to offer. Break, a live look at Las Vegas tonight. The Sphere is doing its thing, and along with that, you're winning lottery numbers.
You're watching News 12 on your side.